Hello there everybody, how's it going? This is Jessie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff here on FlossTube, coming to you on this beautiful sunny Wednesday, June the 29th, 2016. We can do this. We are going to have a beautiful day today. We've had some thunderstorms for the last week or so, and today is the first day since then that there's no rain in the forecast whatsoever. I don't even think there's clouds in the forecast. Like, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be hot, but beautiful. So, how's everybody doing this morning? I'm okay. This is my third time with this introduction. For whatever reason, I can't seem to get it right today. I think it's not enough coffee. I've only had 1 cup of coffee, and it's a small cup. This is my tiny mug, and I'm covering it up for a reason because I want to show it to you. It says, she knew she could, so she messed about on the internet and left it all to the last minute. Is that not perfect or what? But that's all the coffee I've had, just this itty-bitty, teeny-tiny little mug. So maybe that's why I can't do this introduction, I don't know. So we're just going to roll with it. I have switched to water. And so yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. I have so much to talk about. Maybe I should change the name of my channel again. It was Jessie Marie Does Stuff, and then 32 Count Cream Belfast Linen by Zweigart, and then I really want to get back to that. Now it's I have so much to talk about because I say that like every week, and today is no different. So much to talk about. I'm gonna take this hairband off of my wrist. It's kind of choking me. News on the ring front real quick. Still on my pinky, but we're getting somewhere. Almost. Just a couple more weeks, I think, and I will have them on the correct finger. So, yay! So what do I have to talk about? Oh my gosh, so much. Whips from last week, whips for next week. Plans for July. Plans for July the 1st, because July the 1st, as it turns out, is going to be insane. And retail therapy, I have a finish. And if I do all that in reasonable enough time, I'm going to do a tag. I don't think I'm going to, so I don't think I'm going to get to the tag. But you never know. I mean, I came into this morning full on expecting to be here like all day. But you just never know. So let's get started since I have so much to talk about. Okay, so we're going to start with whips from last week. And the last Wednesday, I was on Faces of Fairy number 201. This is by Jasmine Beckett Griffith, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. You'll remember that my Heaven and Earth Designs, I give 2 days or whatever it takes to get a column finished. I could probably do a column in a day, but nonetheless. So this is what she will look like finished. And I'm not going to include a clip or an image of anything from last time because what I got done wasn't a whole lot. I mean, I finished out the column, which was about maybe 100 stitches. So this is on my preferred for Heaven and Earth Designs. This is 25 count Antique White Lugana by Zweigart. This is a fat quarter of such, and I finished out the column and clipped all my little extra threads that hang out over there. So, ta-da! A little over 980 stitches. Whole lot more to go. There's that. It's just background. I'm just in the background near her face at this point. And I am loving it. I'm loving it. It was hard to put down on Wednesday. I thought about maybe just keep going. Let's see what I can get done. But I had some other things that were happening on Wednesday, so I did what my goal was. My goal was to finish off the column, so that's that. I am in the mood for some Heaven and Earth Design stitching, and yeah, so anywho, so that same Wednesday is the day that I started my Lavender and Lace project, which is a part of a very small, as in 2 people, just me and Pearl Stitches. She goes by the same both on YouTube as well as on Instagram. And we were doing a very small Lavender and Lace stitch along. Are doing, excuse me, not were. And the project that I was starting is Nantucket Rose, which I'm in love with. So this picture doesn't do this project justice. It can't. So this scene to me looks very much like a maybe early winter in Nantucket. And we're talking like end of October, so before the snow hits. Before any snow hits. But the way that it's stitching up, it looks more spring, which I think is cool. So I am stitching this on 32 count flax Belfast, which may be my new favorite fabric. Yeah, I said it. And, oh, that's the back. Let's try the front here, Jess. There we go. There's the front. So as you can see, it's really green. 2 beautiful shades of like a deep, deep green. Whereas if you compare it to the image makes it look like drab and kind of gray brown green rather than green green. There are 2 greens in there, and you may be able to see a very subtle difference, but they are very close colors. When I was stitching them, I'm like, couldn't tell the difference between them. But looking at it on camera, you can kind of see that that top corner is just a tad different. And this is just the progress that I made on that Wednesday. I put it away after that. I love this piece, and I'm going to try to find a way to make this a piece that I work on every week, because I just love it. And I haven't even done anything yet, you know? Like, I'm just working on the green. I haven't even gotten down to her beautiful skirt. Or, from what I understand, the confetti hell that is the flowers. I'm so excited. So, yeah, this is probably going to become a piece that I work on every week. It may become my new Saturday sal after this week. And I'll explain that when we get to that point. So, there's that. Like I said, flax may be my new favorite fabric from Zweigart. I can't explain it. It's like it's softer but thicker than the cream Belfast. It's good. I love it. And I love that it's like very natural looking. It's good. I'm a fan. I will continue to use it. Nantucket Rose. So, there we go. Okay. My next whip was my Flowers of the Month. This is a freebie design by Ellen Moore Stroh. And I'll be sure to link it below. I started this at some point last year. I've finished up the January block, and I'm now working on the February block. January was carnations, and February is violets. I don't know what I kept calling it last week, but I was wrong. I am stitching this on a 32 count cream Belfast linen from Zweigart. And this is the progress that I got done. So I made a conscious effort to get down here and to work on some colors. I didn't have a ton of stitching time that night. I can't even remember why not. But, because it doesn't matter. Okay. So I didn't have a ton of stitching time, so I wanted to make sure that I got into some colors. So I had this top brown border done, and I just counted down to make sure that I could do some of the purples and some of the greens, and I love those purples. Love those purples. So I really enjoy this piece, like all of them. I want to be able to work on it all the time, like all of them. And yeah, I just love it. And I know that I talked about it when I finished the January block, but you see down there that little detail where I backstitched in cursive the name of the flower. I'm going to do the same across the whole thing using the darkest color of the relevant flower. So the darkest purple, which I don't even think I've used yet, I will use to do that backstitch. So once I get back to this in about 70 days, so there's that. Okay. My next whip was my Frosty Nut Garden by Chatelaine. You'll be seeing a preview of what it looked like last time now. This is my favorite Chatelaine design. Currently. I should preface that with currently. So this piece got some extra work on it because it was also my Wine and Whips piece. And this Wine and Whips piece started last Wednesday and it's going through tomorrow. So I still have another 2 hours of work to get done on it. And what I got done, not as much as I was hoping for a couple of reasons. So let me go ahead and show it to you. I'm just gonna, oh, I did not do that right. Okay, there we go. So what I got done was these two of the blue mountainy bits, and then most of this one. This one still is missing a couple of shades, as well as the Petite Treasure braid. I wanted to get all of that blue done, but it didn't happen. The reason for that is that this is kind of boring. It's only DMC and one color of Petite Treasure braid. There's 5 shades of blue DMCs, and it's just the same thing repeated 8 times. But it's not like a memorizable pattern, so I have to be paying attention, and it's just, I don't know, it's just not fun. It's not silks, there's no specialty stitches, it's just plain old stitching, nothing too much fun. I wanted to get in and do these just for something a little bit different because there are some silks in that portion, but I knew that if I started rewarding myself before I even got my original goal done, like I was never going to get the blue portions done. So I didn't work on those, even though I wanted to. And then I told myself, I'm like, okay, well, I need some sort of motivation. So I said, Jess, if you get those blue sections done, if you get all 8 of them done, then you can bead the center. So that didn't happen. Because like I said, it's just boring. It's not my favorite part of this piece. The center was by far my favorite, although the, let's see, this section in here, repeated around, loved that. And I loved these corners. Actually, I loved the border on the corners too because there were rice stitches and, are they rhodes? Yeah, there's rice stitches and rhodes in the borders of the corners. So anyway, and then I was trying to make a deal with myself. I'm like, okay, if you get this blue one done, then you can move on to the next part. Just the next part is the last part, and it's very small, it's very minimal. But I wasn't going to do that. Just I have to just struggle through it. So my goal, I have about 2 more hours with this piece for the rest of June and Wine and Whips because I've decided to just hold on to this one for the full, for the more than a full week. My goal is to get the bottom mountainy bits done. I don't know if I can do that with 2 hours, but I'm going to give it a shot. So we'll see. Now, in July, I'm not sure when, but I think that Sarah Shears, Tracy P, and Mackenzie from the Lovely Array and I, we're going to do like a bit of a sort of a mini chatelaine stitch along. And so I'll be working on my frosty knot garden for that, so that I can try to get this done this year. If I can get past this Blue Mountain bits, no sweat. I can do anything. I can get this thing done this year. If I can't get past that in a reasonable time, it's a question mark. So we shall see. So there's that. Okay. Next, so that was a whip / stitch along piece. So now my stitch along pieces. There were a couple of stitch alongs this week. The first was on Friday. Yes, Friday was June 24th, which was the Stitch Mania Color Day Challenge, and it was pretty in pink. I told you guys that I was going to work on Elizabeth by the Glendon Place. And there should be a preview up here of where it was the last time you saw it. And here's what it will look like finished. What I focused on for this Color Day Challenge was this dark pink around the yellow blue. I don't even know why that came out. The yellow bubbles, and then one of the petals. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. This is on 32 count Buttercup by Under the Sea Fabrics. So that's where I got to. I'm kind of impressed. Let me fold this in half so that I can show it to you. So I got, on page 1, all of that dark pink around the yellow bubbles. I got all of that done. And then part of this petal. And I think I worked for about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. And I just used up all of the rest of the length of this color to stitch what I could. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased. I got some good progress in finally. And this piece is going to get some more work in July. But I will go over that in a moment. So, love that. Cannot wait to get down. I don't know why, but this section right here, that's like, for whatever reason, that's the part that I want to get to most. I don't know why. I just like the colors, I guess. So yeah. So that is Elizabeth. This is part of the Baroque Beauties collection. I don't think I mentioned that. Okay. Next, on Sunday the 26th, it was the very beginning of the Now I Know My ABCs. This is a stitch along being hosted through Cross Stitch Finish Line, where essentially on the 26th of each month we are stitching something with related to the letter of the month. The very beginning, so we start with A. So I made a new start, and my new start is the Prairie Schooler alphabet. And I am stitching this on 40 count Newcastle in Platinum by Zweigart. And so I started with A is for anchor. And I am stitching these, I have 3 separate pieces, 9 blocks on each. And so this is my itty bitty teeny tiny little start. I was laughing because the challenge was, or the stitch along was to stitch letters, alphabet, A, something. So I stitched a part of a compass, starts with the C, started part of a flag, F, mast, M, and a tiny little bit of the boat, B. So absolutely 0 A. Oh, and this is a beak. Nothing to do with the letter A. But I got started. Look at how teeny tiny those little stitches are. They're so cute. This is 1/2 on 40 count, so it's effectively 20 count. And so just a quick preview. So there will be 3 across and 3 down. So there's that. I love this, and I can understand why Jan from Thread Garden, I can understand why she worked on it so hardcore for the last couple years. Because that's fun. I'm a big fan. There's only, I think, 9 colors for this whole first 3 letters, which is cool because there's a lot of variation created with just a few colors. I love that. And I love that they're kind of prim colors. So that's fun. And what I have done is I put this piece into my X-Stitch app twice. So I have Prairie School or Alphabet listed in there. I also have, and I'm going to continue to do this, each letter listed out separately. So my X-Stitch app is going to think that I have 27 more projects than I actually do. But that's just kind of how I wanted to organize it, because I want to be able to work on this piece a little bit more often than once every 70 some odd days. So essentially, the next time that it comes up, it will be for Prairie School or Alphabet under the P's, and then it'll come up again in A, and then B, etc. moving forward. I want this to be a long-term piece. I mean, I don't have a choice in that matter, but I don't want it to be that long. And I want to be able to make some good progress on each of these letters as this Now I Know My ABC style continues. So that's what I'm going to do. Currently, my X-Stitch app thinks I have 71 projects. I don't. I have 70. Just a lot. With 4 more coming in next week. Oh my gosh. That's insanity. Anywho. Okay. My next stitch along piece is a finish. I finished it. Most everybody knows because I posted it on all of my Facebook groups as well as on Instagram. But just in case you aren't involved in those social medias, I finished my dove. Now this is the dove by I Love My Designs on Etsy. And this was my Saturday stitch along. I stitched it on 32 count cream Belfast linen from Zweigart, using Dinky Dyes silk in Bulia for the purple, and Classic Colorworks silk in Beanstalk for the leaves. And then I backstitched a quote down at the bottom, and it says, "Dream if you will a courtyard, an ocean of violets in bloom." And that is a part of the song When Doves Cry by Prince. This is a commemorative piece for Prince. I don't know why that's so difficult. And I just love it. I think that it turned out beautifully. I am so excited about how the threads played together. On one of my posts on Facebook, Novice Stitcher, she mentioned that it was good that the threads played well together, and I'm totally with you there. You can see a difference between the 2 skeins of Bulia. The wing has some darker spots where the rest of the bird doesn't, but it looks good. It looks good. You can kind of see in that region it's a little bit darker. So my plans for this are to canvas frame it. I'm going to stretch it around a canvas, and it is going to be a gift for a certain somebody once I get to that point. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to show you guys. I figured out my signature. I'm so excited. I thought this was like one of the more clever things I have come up with. So my signature, can you see it? No? Good. It's a hidden signature. So it is, let me see if I can't fold it up a little bit more. Right there under my finger. Right there. That's my signature. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Jessica stitch. And inside that Jessica stitch, and you may not be able to see it here on camera, but I backstitched the letter S for my last name. And then, off to the side, I backstitched the year in Roman numerals. I only used the XVI for 16 because 2016 would be much longer. There'd be a couple of M's in there. And so I just thought I'd keep it simple, just do the 16. So Jessica S, 16. I'm so excited. When that thought occurred to me, I was just like, oh my God, why haven't I been doing this forever? A Jessica stitch, are you kidding me? That's my stinking name. Like, that's so perfect. Organic Granny, Lori said it best. She said, I wish there was a Lori stitch. Yeah, I know. Super cool. I'm pretty excited about it. So there's that all done. There is a mistake, and I'm not going to point it out to you. If you can figure it out, bonus points to you. But there's my dove. Love this piece. And I am just tickled to have it done. Have a finish. 2 finishes in February. Where are these words coming from? In June, this was started on April 24th for the Color a Day Challenge Purple Haze, and finished on June the 26th. So there's that. So I will get that canvassed, and I'll try to show it to you guys before it is a gift. I'm going to have to see if I can find some tutorials on doing the canvas work because I've never done that before. So that'll be fun. Okay, so then next I'm going to reset real quick and talk about my plans for July. Okay, so before I talk about plans for July, let's talk about next week's whips. This upcoming week is going to be a little in flux. It's a little different. The reason for that is that I have 5 things that I am to be working on Friday, July the 1st. 5. And that's insane. So I didn't want to put a whip on that day. But other than that, there are some things that I want to accomplish shortly thereafter. So I didn't put a whip on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. 4 days. I'm basically taking a 4-day weekend from my whip rotation because of all of those things that I want to work on for those 4 days. So I only pulled 3 whips for my rotation for this week. So today, my rotation piece is the Game of Thrones house banners, which, if you guys watch Game of Thrones, wasn't the finale like awesome? I was like giddy. I was so excited about just the way that they threw so much at us finally. I feel like the whole season has been kind of slow, and then the finale was just awesome. But then, of course, it's the finale, and so we have to wait a year. And there are only 13 episodes left of the entire series. Yeah, there's 2 seasons left. I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here. There are 2 seasons left. Next season will be 7 episodes. The final season will be 6 episodes long. And that's it. That's the end. Like, there's just no more Game of Thrones. the reason for that, there's a couple of reasons. I think that the show has reached a point where they can close it. The other thing is that George R. R. Martin is still in the midst of writing book 6. Apparently he is working with the production team on the show and sort of letting them know where the story is going so that they can then create a show out of it. Like, the show, things that are happening in the show haven't happened in the books that exist yet. So, yeah, the show's a little bit of ahead. It has a head start. So, I think that part of the reason the show is ending is that they've kind of reached a point where they can close it, and I think that George is kind of holding on to some of his secrets for where he wants the story to go, which totally makes sense. I mean, I would feel the exact same way. If somebody made a show for a book that I hadn't written yet, I don't want to give everything away to, yeah. So, rant over. Game of Thrones House Banners. This is by Clouds Factory. This was a Stitch Mania start, and I am stitching it on 28 count ale. This is Cashel by Picture This Plus, and I am right there. Can you see it? Not a whole lot. So I started with House Stark of Winterfell, and so I will continue to work on that today. I did one of those like personality tests to see which house. Winterfell. Yep, I'm a Stark. And I'm cool with that because they're kind of badass. Anyway, so I will continue to work on that. This was, I don't know what day I started it, and I don't know if I mentioned it, but at some point during this spiel, you will have seen an image of what it will look like finished. Because it's digital, I don't have it printed out. Okay, next, tomorrow I am working on my, oh, this one lost its stringy bit. Oh well. I'm working on Glory of Autumn. This is a kit by Dimensions. And I substituted out the fabric for a 28 count Cashel by Zweigart. And last time I worked on this was the progress that I had made. So I will continue to work on that. Probably, let's see, I'm in this zone here. I'll probably continue to work on that roof and see if I can't get that roof done tomorrow. Oh, there's a lot left to do. I don't know if I'm going to get the roof done tomorrow, but we'll see. I also have some preparatory things to do tomorrow in anticipation of Friday. So, there's that. Dimensions, Glory of Autumn. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Then, as I said, no whips for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. My whip for Tuesday, then, picking back up where we left off, is Graceful Reindeer. You'll be seeing a preview image of what that will look like finished here. This is Graceful Reindeer. It is by Marie Barber. I pulled it from a Just Cross Stitch. Let's see, this is the November-December issue. I'm stitching this on Rosewood, which is a 32 count Belfast by Picture This Plus. And this is what I got done last you saw it. So I now have most of the Krennics, so I can go ahead and work a little bit further, maybe get his antlers done. We shall see. Love this fabric. It's just a beautiful pinky, like antique pinky color. So that is my whip for Tuesday. And then next Wednesday I'll show you moving forward. So, okay. July the 1st. Couple of things expected. Frosted Pumpkin Stitcheries Pumpkin Passport, which I am stitching on 32 count properly primitive from Under the Sea Fabrics. There we are. Top 6 done. Some of the preparatory work I need to do tomorrow is to work on some of that border so that I will be able to count down and be able to work on July, because July will go underneath the Let's. So there's that. I have no idea what this block is going to be. We shall see. So there's that. Next, we have the Clouds Factory Postcards from the World. Again, preparatory work that we need to do tomorrow is the frame. And this is where it stands currently. This fabric is 28 count Monet Cashel from Picture This Plus. And last month, you remember we were in Giza. So we'll see where we are this month. Looking forward to that. That'll probably be the first thing that I work on Friday. So we have the 2 previously described stitch alongs. Okay. Next, the Heaven and Earth Designs challenge number 3 starts on Friday. It's parking related. I have no idea what I'm going to work on. I do know that it's required that we start with a fresh page. The only project that I have currently on the go that's at that point is April by Anna Dittman, which I started for the challenge number 2. I don't want to work on that anymore. I want to take a break from it. So I'm contemplating a new start. None of my other Heaven and Earth designs are close enough to a fresh page that I can justifiably use them for it. So I need a potential other option. So I'm kind of looking through my Heaven and Earth Designs stash to see what I want to start. If I want to start something, I do know that it's going to be one of my smaller pieces because I will have to get some Lugana from Hobby Lobby in order to be able to do that. And the biggest size they have is an 18 by 27 piece. So it can't be any of my larger ones. As much as I want to start Laia or the Storyteller or Supersized Free Cities, it's not going to happen because I don't want to order fabric. It won't be here in time. So whatever I can do with what I can get, if I decide not to do April. I'm kind of waiting to see what the parameters are for the challenge before I make that decision officially. My original plan was to start the English Bulldog by Joe Lynch, but that's not going to work because it's not full pages. And I just have a feeling that this Heaven and Earth Designs challenge is going to require a full page. And with the way that Bulldog is designed, there's a lot of blank space. So that's not going to happen, which is a bummer because I wanted that to be my next Heaven and Earth. So long story short, I don't know yet. We'll talk about it next week. Okay, next on July the 1st, I also have my next installment of my Cricut Collection monthlies. July. And I will be stitching this on 28 count Confederate Gray Cashel. And this I am starting for a couple of things. This will be my month sal piece for cross stitch finish line. It is also my patriotic sampler for the patriotic sampler sal that I pushed Katie into doing, and am now not doing the same piece. Yeah, whatever. This will be for that piece as well. So there's that. Next, we have the new monthly stitch along starting. And I swore to myself that I wasn't going to do this thing. I was like, I have enough. I don't need it. Let me see what it looks like first. Okay, fine, I'll do it. So this is the Fantasy Stitch Along. It is it's designed by Dorian Jones, and it's being put out by Lakeside Needlecrafts. You can still get a hold of the pattern. On Friday, we will be getting the frames. So the big outer border and the little frames in the middle. You'll be seeing a preview image of what the frames are due to look like. This is really just like their sneak peek, sort of. This is what sold me on it. The colors and the fact that it's fantasy. So I did some soul searching to try to figure out what kind of fabric I wanted to do for this. And I have two options here. One of them you will have seen before. This is Sparkling Diamonds by Crafty Kitten Fabrics in the UK. This was the April mystery box sort of thing. And so that's that. So it's very pale cotton candy, blues, purples. There's some pinks and whites. It's lovely. And it still smells so good. So this was a consideration. However, I was concerned about the colors on this because some of the colors are pretty light. So I ordered a piece of fabric as a secondary option, and then this morning I did a floss toss. And ultimately, what I found was that number 762 almost identically matches my fabric of Sparkling Diamonds. So this isn't going to work. I don't know to what level this 762 will be used, and I just don't want it to get lost if it's an important detail. So I thought, all right, so let me go with my other fabric option, which leads me into my haul. So the secondary fabric option that I got is 32 count Heroic by Picture This Plus. And I have wanted this fabric forever. This is one of the Picture This Plus colorways that I just wanted it. And I'm a little underwhelmed, if I'm honest. So it is, it's like a stone brown with some beautiful blues and reds kind of streaked through it. I thought heroic, fantasy, heroes, following me. I thought I'd give it a shot. And I've wanted to try this fabric forever, so I thought, well, now's a good opportunity. And if the Sparkling Diamonds was going to work, then I would just have this in my stash. Well, it's not, so I'll be using this. I wonder if one side is darker than the other. Yeah, this side is darker, so this will be my front. So, I like it, and I think that it will work well for this. Floss Toss showed that everything stands out really well against it, so I will do it. And yeah, pretty excited. I'm excited to finally work on this fabric. I'm excited for this fantasy style. I cannot wait to see what the individual pieces are going to be. This is going to be another monthly. The first official block is in August, and so this will be another piece that I work on every month. Thanks, Katie, by the way, for being the reason that I had to do this. It's your fault. Thank you. So there's that, and I'm looking forward to it. So let's go through the rest of my haul, and then I'll talk about one last part of my plans for July. So, haul. Let's see here. Along with that fabric, I got the, this is Silken Colors Green Leaves Light. And I needed this for the July Cricut collection piece. It is the lettering. The color used for the lettering. And so there it is against the fabric. Good contrast there. I think it'll be fine. Silk and Colors is so expensive. That's crazy. But nonetheless, had to get it. Probably didn't have to, but I did anyway. So there's that. And then I also, because I'm obsessed, love coffee. There. So that's really adorable, and it goes with my I Love Love. And there's a few more in this series that I'll probably get at some point, but there's that one. Pretty colors. Okay, now let's talk needle minders. So I was supposed to have a third order of needle minders that was supposed to arrive yesterday, but it took a little bit longer to get here than anticipated. So, say levy. First, I have 9 from No Name Needle Minders, which is by the lovely Kate, who is the Queen of Starts. So she was running a promotion in June, buy 3, get 1 free. And in addition to that, she also said, pick another one, it's your wedding present. By the way, Kate, if you're watching this, you were the very first person to address something to me using my married last name. It made me so excited. I almost saved the envelope, but Danny was like, come on. I know, but anyway. Excuse me. Something about never talking ill about your husband. There's that. Okay. So, first 3 I got. I have Java Queen, an English Bulldog that looks most like my Thor, and this nautical one with the dragon devouring a ship. That's pretty cool. Yep, love those. These are all the large size, by the way. She has 2 sizes, large and small. I got all the large ones. Next, we have a blue butterfly, a bird and birdcage, and the Lady of Shalott artwork. Sorry for the glare, you guys. And next, we have what I like to call my dark set. This is the Scream, an Edgar Allan Poe quote, and a butterfly reminiscent of Silence of the Lambs. And the Edgar Allan Poe quote is, I became insane with long intervals of horrible sanity. Love that. So, ta-da. Those are my No Name Needle Minders. They have already gotten some work and they are fab. Really loving them. That will not be my only order from her. Okay, next I have an order here from Nifty Needle Nannies. This is Julie, and she's currently on Facebook looking to open her Etsy here some point soon, maybe by fall. So I got a toothless, finally. I've been wanting a toothless for forever. I don't normally go for the character-based minders, but I had to have a toothless because he's just so darn cute. He makes me think of a cat. Like if a cat was a dragon, it'd be toothless. And then a big cup of coffee. Which, in my opinion, that cup of coffee needs some more creamer. But whatever. So there's that. And Julie, if you are watching this and you're like, there was another one, in due time. I do have it, so don't be worried about it. It's here. So there's that. I love the little coffee cup. I can't wait to be able to use that one. So that's it for the haul. Next, let's talk about the rest of my July plans. So I have a ton of sales happening in July. I've got Color Day, Patriotic. There is a Jane Netley Mayhew stitch along starting on the 10th of July. We have the Alphabet stitch along. I have one that I am doing. It's really just a personal thing. And I'll talk about that, when it's relevant. And then something that I can talk about now, because it's relevant to right now, is the upcoming month-long stitch along in Stitch Mania, which this July is called It's a Sunshine Day. And so basically you work on something summery, something tropical, something beachy, sort of along those lines. So here's what I've got. This is not in any particular order. The first one is July by the Cricket Collection. Appropriate. It's July. Next we have, let's see, I think this is summer. Yeah, this is Summer by the Cricket Collection. This I am stitching on 32 count pastel lilac from Zweigart. And there's where I got to. I got the sunflower done. This was my May 31st start for Mania. Okay, and there's that pastel lilac fabric that doesn't look like anything. Okay, next I have June by the Cricket Collection. And this is being done on 32 count cream Belfast. Here's what June will look like finished. I started this on June 1st, and that's where I got to. So just a part of the N and some of the flowers going along that banister. So there's that. Now project number 4, say with me now. You're wrong, it's not the Cricket Collection. This is Personal Sunshine by Jeremiah Kettner. Don't you just love dropped frames? I sure do. So like I was saying, Jeremiah Kettner's Personal Sunshine by Heaven Earth Designs is my 4th pace for It's a Sunshine Day. And yeah, pretty much love this. It's not very sunshiny, but there's a sunshine, so it counts. And this, as always, I'm stitching on 25 count Antique White Lugana by Zweigart. This is a piece that I started for the Heaven and Earth Designs Challenge number 1. Oh yeah, that's right, it's longer than it is tall. And so that's the progress that I got to. So you can still see my blocks from Challenge 1 in there. And I will continue to work on this. Pinks. There's another word that doesn't belong. Purples and blacks. Nothing like purple and black for It's a Sunshine Day. But there's that. So each of those pieces will get about a week a piece. One of them will get a little bit longer because there are 31 days, not 28 in July, so we'll see. We'll see how that all works out. So those are my plans for July. I'm just gonna set it over there and I'll organize it in a minute. So much going on in July. I am looking forward to it, but it's gonna be a little bit crazy. I'm really hoping that if I buckle down, I can get both of the pumpkin passport and postcards done in the first 2 days. I think that'd be really awesome. I've already talked to Danny, and Friday I'm basically going to have a stitch-a-thon, where I'm just going to stitch like a banshee. and see what I can do in that day. I'm going to do as much prep work as I possibly can so that I can make it a smooth process. And yeah, we'll keep on going. So other than that, I think that I have run long enough and there won't be any tag here. So I'll just save that for another video. What do I have for the rest of this week? Let's see. On tomorrow, I've got my knitting update. On Friday, I have another something coming. So stay tuned for that. Friday or Saturday. Maybe Saturday if I'm going to do this stitch-a-thon on Friday. And I will just keep my needles working. So, thank you guys so much for watching and for putting up with me and for liking and subscribing and commenting. I'm losing my words, so I guess that's probably a good point to shut it down. So thank you once again. I'll see you guys next week. Happy stitching.